Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Near Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, we have a couple of Fibonacci retracements set up. As always, if you don't know how to use the Fib retracement, make sure to check out the video that's linked down below in the description. I explain how to use the Fib retracement very well in that video, so make sure you watch that if you're not familiar with this technical tool, and come back to this video. Now, for everyone else, we have one large Fib retracement in the background. As you can see, the swing high is set up all the way, let me move that there, all the way back in January of 2022, so $20.50. And we have the swing low set up here in January 2023, which is presumably where we have bottomed for crypto and for this bear market. And presumably we're not going to be losing this low at $1.22, because if we do, that's going to be very bearish and very negative. We're going to be continuing the downtrend. We're failing to break even the November 2022 high, not even touching the August high. You know, we're very far away from that. And if we are going to be losing that $1.22.50 low, then you have this trading range, I should say, anywhere between $1.09 to 87 cents. But I don't think that's going to be happening unless we see some sort of a major black swan event. In that case, all the altcoins can probably see 60 to 70% pullbacks in a day with a very quick recovery afterwards. So if you have your buy limit orders set up in advance throughout this area here, right, you're going to be able to catch that. Even if you're asleep, that wick's going to go through all of your limit orders. Even if it goes a bit lower, it doesn't matter. You're still getting a very good deal here with all these prices. So don't be greedy, especially when you're near the bear market bottom. And now the second Fib retracement that we have set up over here is a smaller one, obviously. And we have the swing high in August of 2022 and the swing low in June of the same year. And we retraced all the way down to our capitulation target at $1.34, which is the second Fib level. And from there, we're seeing a retracement to the upside all the way back to the first Fib level, which is a back test of this previous support that we have. We lost it as support back in November once we had the FTX FUD, and now we're coming back up to retest that as resistance, potentially coming back lower into the red support block for a higher low. Hopefully that's what's going to happen here. I don't really want to see us go below $1.56. So if you come back down and you want to retest this low here, you come back into the support block and then you move up, that's great. So I would be dollar cost averaging into near at these prices, to be honest with you. I would be buying tokens there. Obviously, all of my buy alerts are going to be on the Patreon that's linked down below in the description. So if we remove the smaller Fib, you can see that we're sort of breaking above the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level, but there is a resistance trend line that's holding us back, which is all the way here at $2.66. Now you can see this was a major support trend line back in May of 2021, and it was a resistance trend line, or it was a resistance level for us back in January of 2021. So essentially, we broke above the support. We failed to hold it here in November. We broke below, and now we're coming back for a retest of resistance, and potentially we're going to be pulling back lower to the, presumably to this red support block, hopefully. So yeah, that's potentially what's going to happen. You have to look out for the Fed because they can turn bearish in a second. Some of the big American banks in the States are already predicting that the stock market is going to crash. So they're kind of trying to turn everyone to the bearish side because the markets are going against the narrative right now. And the narrative is that everything's bad, everything's going down, and crypto and stocks don't really care about that right now. So they're kind of pushing forward. And obviously, they don't want that. The Fed doesn't want that. So they want to see a pullback, and they might even have a 50 to 75 basis points interest rate hike in March or May, because they talked about the inflation and it's they're failing to solve the problem which they created themselves, and they want to dump the markets. And hey, I don't have a problem with that. The lower we go, the better it is for me, because I'm going to buy more tokens, obviously. So I would have loved to stay at these levels for another year. I would be dollar cost averaging, and I'd have a very large amount of money in crypto by that point. But I don't think that's going to be possible, unfortunately. Now, you can see that we have a support block and a support trend line here on the daily RSI. So that's something that we want to be targeting. And if we continue down here and you see the RSI land in that support block, that's going to be a major entry point. If we fail to hold that as support, we continue down. That white support trend line there is very important, as every time, let me get the price tag for you. As every time we hit that support, we see a move to the upside. For example, here, that was the inception of the token on Binance. We had the first touch was all the way back here in June of 2022, and the second and the third touch was in November of 2022. And every time you went to that level, you saw a major move to the upside. So that's also a good place to make some, short to mid-term trades. Now let's switch over to the Binance weekly chart. And before we continue, guys, I quickly want to talk about my Patreon. Now, if you want to get involved, there's going to be a 7-day free trial. So you can go ahead and join, and you're going to get access to all of my content since I started posting on Patreon, which was all the way back in October of 2021. So there are hundreds and hundreds of posts with low cap gems, my exclusive podcasts that I do for patrons only, my low cap gem reviews, project highlights, your technical analysis requests, exclusive videos for patrons. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there that I don't share on YouTube or Twitter, as to add more value to it. And I also share all of my buys, all of my sells. I share my portfolio in there. So if that's something that you're interested in and you really want to support the channel, then feel free to check it out. Thank you. Taking a look at the weekly chart on Binance, as you can see, we are breaking out of this falling wedge, which is very positive, but we're running into the 20 EMA as resistance. So potentially we're going to come back to this red support block, and we're going to retest it as support. We're going to hold here for a while and potentially consolidate just a bit, and then move to the upside, breaking that $3.03 or 30 cents, hopefully, and effectively that's going to be a higher low, and that's going to be great. And then we need the next high to be higher than this high, because we need to start an uptrend here, at least a local uptrend. Ideally, we want to be breaking that level there at around about $5, and I think that is going to be coming at some point. And that is also the technical target that we have here at $4.85. That's where the pattern was created, so that is going to be our technical target. That is slightly above the 55 weekly EMA, so we might not get to that because the 55 EMA is just going to send us back down. We're going to get rejected from that. So if you're looking for some swing trading opportunities, I would be careful with that, of course. But the 55 EMA here would be a good level to take some profits, and then you can buy back at $3.30. But that's only in the case that we see a pretty strong pump in the next few, days or weeks. But I don't think that we're going to be able to come up to the 55 EMA. I think by the time we touch the 55 EMA, it's going to be all the way down here at $3.30 potentially. But this is not a financial advice, obviously. So also taking a look at some long-term targets, let's set up the Fib retracement from the swing low in January this year to the swing high in January last year, and we get a 1.618 target at $112.50. So from where we are right now, that would be around about 4,500% of profit. I think that's that's doable for Near. I think that's doable. Obviously, you can target the 1.414, which is more conservative at $63 or $64 if you round it up. And that's going to be a good exit. You can just start exiting, let's say at 64, and then you dollar cost average your way out all the way up to $112. That could work. But I would say that's a pretty good target for the next bull market for us to take out. Now, taking a look at the what do I want to take a look at? I want to take a look at the 3-day chart here. Let's switch over to the 3-day chart real quick. Let's jump into the RSI here. So as you can see, we broke above this major resistance block that we've been testing since November 2021. And now potentially we're going to come back and retest this as support. If not, we're going to be retesting the support that we created back in December of this year, last year, I should say, just a couple months ago at 27.6. So either this trend line or the major now support block. It's flipped to a support because we broke above it. So now it's a support block, and what we need to do is we need to hold above it and, you know, sort of bounce in it or bounce off of it, and that's going to be a very good entry in my opinion. Obviously, if you come down here, doesn't mean that we're going to see a boost immediately. We might not even see it, but technically that's going to be a nice entry because that is going to be your support. So if you do see a move to the upside, great, you can trade. If not, well, you know, we're going to be going lower and you might just want to dollar cost average even more into the project. All depends on your situation and what you're looking for really. So that's been it. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Patreon, Twitter, and Discord. All the links are down below in the description. Thank you and have a great day.